One of the most frustrating things about playing as Italy is winning the second Italo-Ethiopian war and yet still not winning it. So the question is, how do you fully capitulate Ethiopia after capitulating Ethiopia? The way the game intends for you to do it is obnoxious and not at all worth it, but I'm going to show you how. You actually have to get all these states above 60% compliance before you can even begin to do the process of fully capitulating Ethiopia. So because of that, I'm producing a bunch of armored cars. Why armored cars? Well, they have a little trait on them that helps a lot. You notice over here on your garrison, the suppression rating. So horses are usually the cheaper option, which you definitely want. But if you throw on an armored car, you can see it does 2.5 suppression per unit. Compare that to cavalry, which just does 2, or infantry, which just does 1.5. Armored car suppression of 2.5, I might add, is the exact same as if you were to do the much more expensive tank. We do want to win, quote unquote, quickly, but not too quickly. Once Ethiopia gets the boarding the train focus done, they will keep on fighting us even after capitulation. So we just have to make sure we continue this war more than 100 days. I do want to get about 90% of the job done fairly quickly because the next focuses in our tree over here, namely solid progress, requires us to conquer northern and southern Ethiopia. Okay, with that said, let's roll. Okay, we got solid progress. That's exactly what I wanted. So I just need Ethiopia to last 35 more days, and then we can finish capitulating them. It is so tempting not to just walk into Addis Ababa in this. Okay, I think we're enough days in that they've done that focus. Let's go ahead and end it. Damn it! It is more than... Okay, maybe they do another focus. Maybe it's 140 days. Let's start over. Maybe they do 2 focuses over here. Maybe they do falling back and then boarding the train. So that's actually, you have 140 days to get the job done, not 100. Okay, we're at the gates of Addis Ababa. This focus is not finished. I'm not going to take any chances. We're just going to stop attacking. There it is. Okay. That must be it. It's that 140 day mark they do it. Because I hadn't done anything, and then they capitulated. And if you look on the Ethiopian focus tree, when they do the boarding the train focus, their surrender limit drops by 20%. So that's definitely it. You have then 140 days, so not 105. Okay, so we have Ethiopia here. The reason we rush down this focus is because it gives us our operatives. We need to prioritize then. We need some more. But we're going to do anti-partisan. That's the first thing we're going to do. Now, there's no given order you have to do these in, but I will say topple Amhara rulers, the new emperor of Ethiopia, and the Albanian occupation all do wonders for boosting compliance. You will want to go this side to the Ministry of Italian Africa because it unlocks the colonial police, which are kind of bad at first, but really reduce resistance growth. But then when you do regional development, it will buff them further, and they'll actually help you gain compliance in the area. We got our first operative. We're going to go ahead, and nice for Italy is they start out with 2 Ethiopian operatives, so we'll go with them. And then I'm going to set them on the root out resistance task. So many of the decisions require you to have compliance before you can do them. So the colonial police will help reduce resistance at first, but then later on, once we buff the regional development focus, it will help with compliance. Okay, we'll start doing those decisions. We could go to regional development now, but while we're here, we might as well do the other ones. So next is Triumph in Africa. Now, normally as Italy, you don't need a silent workhorse because you have so much political power you get from Mussolini. But the reason you're given all that political power is because the game expects you to not capitulate Ethiopia in time, and that you'll spend all your time doing the political power decisions to improve compliance. So actually, we will be at a need for political power. So I am going to get the silent workhorse in this game. Next, we'll do the new Emperor of Ethiopia. As you can see down there, it's going to boost compliance speed growth, but it also is going to give us decisions to discredit Haile Selassie, which will help a ton for this task. And now we can begin to develop Ethiopia and improve compliance. Okay, with the new Emperor of Ethiopia focus done, you get this excellent decision you can do, discredit Haile Selassie, which just straight up adds 5 compliance everywhere. So you can see some of these states were already at 21 just from developing it. So we'll discredit Haile Selassie, gives us another 5% tick up. We will be doing topple Amhara leaders, but I want to do some other stuff first because this gives a base 10% bump. And as you know, the higher compliance gets, the harder it is to keep on complying. So having that 10% buff when you already have a lot of compliance is great. So for that reason, we're going to go to Foreign Affairs. We're going to get an excellent advisor. Again, you can see that their damage to garrisons goes down and then political power goes up. We are going to need him. Okay, we'll do Albanian occupation. Why? Because again, you can see there, it modifies Victorio Emmanuel III to get the King of Albania trait, which improves compliance growth by 10%. Okay, with Albanian occupation done, there's a couple more things we can do. We can go to topple Amhara rulers. I actually will start that next because it will take a little while for those events to pop up. The other obnoxious thing about this is you have to be monitoring this like a hawk because every 30 days you'll be going and doing these other development decisions. You also have to check your other decisions because the decision to discredit Haile Selassie is going to pop up a lot. And we want every 5% bit of a compliance when we can get it. You can also see this grayed out decision that costs 75 political power, expand regional control. This is actually how you end the war with Ethiopia. You have to get every single one of these states, the initial Ethiopian ones, up to 60% compliance. And then you can begin to click this. And it takes 90 days. And at the end of the 90 days, you technically own that state instead of Ethiopia. But not only does it take 90 days, you can only do one at a time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 states that they have. That's 900 days of trying to gain ownership of these states. Okay, you're going to get these decisions when you do the topple Amhara rulers. You're just going to go for granting concessions to locals. It costs a little bit of political power, but you do get some pretty decent generals, and it raises compliance by a good bit. One last advisor I'm going to get is this guy, because again, less damage to garrisons. So we've fully developed all of Ethiopia. Now we're just sitting around waiting for compliance to get up so we can start owning these states. And now you can see we have the compliance up enough. We can finally begin to expand regional control. When I inspect this state right now, it says that the owner is Ethiopia and the controller is Italy. This war will end when Ethiopia technically doesn't own any more of the states. Well, we're still going. It's April of 39. I am going to try to snipe the Greeks real quick. They're just guaranteed by Romania. Now, technically, I am at war with the Allies, quote unquote. But hopefully the Greeks can't join the Allies or I will screw up this playthrough. Okay, we took Greece in time. I just hope we can take Romania before they join the Axis, because then we'd be in big trouble. Pronto all'azione. Oh. Okay, I had to spice it up a little bit there. Okay, World War II is kicking off. I was thankfully able to snipe Greece and Romania before it started, when they could join the Allies or the Axis. Also liberated Moldova and Ukraine because I don't want to touch a war with the Soviet Union in this game. Meanwhile, on our quest to finally end the war in Ethiopia, you know, we still got 2 more states to control. That's 180 days, plus whatever's left on here, about 40. So we're still about a half a year before we can get involved. Though, to be fair, Italy technically didn't join World War II until the Germans had basically finished conquering France. So if we were to join in like May, then technically we'd still be on time. Okay, in 5 days, we'll have the last state we needed done. just in time. The Germans just finished off the French. So technically, I guess you could say we were on time if we did this and wanted to hop in the action. But here's probably one of the most disappointing things. Okay, we're at war. We've been doing all these focuses over and over and over again. And, you know, we've been doing all this. Certainly the game's going to give us like an achievement or, you know, Italian travail or something like that. Nope. You don't get anything. The war just disappears and you're at peace. The most anticlimactic way to end this, and I don't even know why I did this. This was a stupid challenge. You should never do it. So here's the most frustrating part about that. I did all that. I actually have enough to do a compliance government with Ethiopia. I'm not going to do that just to show you this. They're not ready yet. Okay, look at my compliance over here. It's in the 80s, even 90 in some places. I get the decision to form Italian East Africa now because I completed that, right? Watch what happens to all that compliance we worked so hard to get. It's gone. It's gone. Everything. Everything is gone, dude. The compliance dropped from like 80 or 90% down to the teens and even in the 20s. It's so bad. I hate this game. That is so bad. Anyways, that's how you do it. That's how you win the war without actually winning it. Is it worth it? No. Is it fun? No. Is it interesting? I guess. Join my next video. I will actually do a playthrough as Italian East Africa.